It happens, man. Think that I don't think
I mean, it
that
looks like it's
Regine
going in
likes
and
me
out.
down here in Australasia.
Mm-mm.
Really?
I think you need to. Not in and out, like your video's going crisp and then blurry. Crisp and. So I think you definitely need to reach out to support for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway. Hello, everyone. We're getting to be live. We do have
Yeah,
something
we're live.
interesting to show
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
We do.
Um, we're
Yeah.
also not great at multitasking, but
Speak for yourself, whoever you
oh,
are. I don't know who you are because I'm doing
I'm in
other
this
stuff.
protection. I've got pixelated. Daniel, you've
Yes.
been playing with it. It's been interesting. The world has been playing with it, but we want to test it
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. Exactly. And for those that are already in the chat room as part of our green room experience, help us out here. But yeah, Chat GPT is all the rage these days, and just wanted to kind of like show what it is and be do a demo here just for as a special case. So let's throw my screen up and let's throw other stuff. Can
That
you
off.
yeah, can you do that
I
for me
will.
while
I'll
I
take care of it.
Okay. So this is the service you have to sign up and you can go to chat.openai.com and sign up for it. So it's basically think of a conversation with a chatbot that knows stuff more than any other chatbot you've ever experienced. It's kind of the way I've been thinking about it, because it's not a defined set of things that someone said. Here's what you can search for, but it is ingested content. It's not live content, meaning you can't say, "Give me the current scores of the football." It won't do that. But it has the response.
Predict the winning lotto this Saturday.
Yeah, but it is not a here's your answer. Thank you for It is a here's information and here's the context around it and blah blah blah. And it can be very interesting. So we're just going to play with it. So if you have a suggestion for those in the chat room, what should we ask? I wanted to know. Tell me the top 4 reasons I should use Microsoft Viva. And then
Sell
we just
something
sit
to
and
me?
wait.
Is that what you're asking?
And yeah, basically, what is the top 4 reasons I should use it?
Wowzers.
So it's just kind of just all right. Here's why. Um, you're you get here's what it is, right? I said tell me the top 4 reasons, not explain it all to me, right? But it's telling me what it is, and then it says number 1, well, improved communication and collaboration. This is how. Enhanced employee experience. This is how. Better. So now, is this the best selling tool ever? No. I mean, there's some things in here that we will, you can't just copy paste this, and I'm sure there's probably some that try, but I think it's interesting to see, how this chatbot experience is evolving. You know what I mean? What do you
I
think,
do.
Daryl?
Well, it is said that it's a starting point. I think that's a
Mm-hmm.
great way to look at it. I've heard all sorts of different examples. Like, I'm a fan of the MKBHD Waveform podcast, and they got it to write an intro for their podcast. And it came out quite well. And then there was another story where they said, okay, what if Marcus was Santa? He took over from Santa this year, and it came up with this cool story and weaved in other stuff about his technology interests and that he'd upgrade the sleigh and do various things. So smart. I don't replace people, but it could be a good writer's prompt to start off with.
Yeah, I think so. And I just did write an intro for the 365 Message Center Show podcast. And it is interesting how it's grabbed some of the information that is available online about the show and then thrown a
Right.
little bit others that's like, yeah, definitely. It's interesting. I think it's
Yeah.
an interesting tool that I'm looking forward to seeing how people find creative ways of using it.
I have heard, make sure that you fact check it because it will
for
get
sure.
things wrong. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, Daniel, I think it's about time. Shall we?
Yes.
Shall we do this? All right.
Let's go.
All right. Here we are.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Who, me?
But yeah, Daniel, thanks for joining us. You had internet issues before the show, so
I did.
Thanks for joining us. You and I
Yes.
as us. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This is episode 266, and our headline, our title, is all about the new Microsoft Teams meeting bar, toolbar improvements, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But what we do want to say is make sure you give this episode a thumbs up so it helps all the algorithms and everything and for people to find it. And we'd love for you to follow us at 365MCS on all the socials that matter. We are there for you. And check out our podcast home webpage at 365mcs.com as well. Yeah, I'm doing great. The sun is shining. It's a little cold outside. How are you doing, Daryl?
Sun is shining here too. Birds are singing because it is summer. I'm looking out on a glorious Pohutakawa tree. Now that is a native tree here in New Zealand that flowers during Christmas time, and it is, bright red. Lots of sort of bushy flowers that are amazing. You'll see those sorts of photos if you follow my socials or see various photos from people from New Zealand.
Ah, fantastic. I just came back from a week at the Microsoft 365 Collaboration Conference. It was a great time of learning and networking. So hello to all those that are joining new. Thank you for joining the podcast. Make sure you can join us live and join the chat room or catch the audio podcast as well. So thank you for joining, everyone. Appreciate that. So we've got quite a few things to talk about today, so maybe we should jump into it.
Yeah, I think let's do that. We'll turn on that for you. You did turn on the sun.
Ooh, the sun.
Turn on the sun. Light
Here
up the
comes
world.
the sun.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, very good. Our first, something about adding people to chat. It's a quick one. It's kind of a logical one, actually, when you think about it. Add people to a group chat from the compose box via an @mention MC4866. If you're in the conversation, group chat, and you want to add Daniel, because of course you want to invite Daniel. He's got some things to say, and value to add, right, buddy? Right? Before this feature, you had to go up to a add people button, find Daniel, add Daniel, and done. This feature will allow us to just mention Daniel's name and type it, select the right Daniel if you've got a large organization, and he's added to the chat. I don't know if I'm going to reduce the need for the 2 clicks. What this message doesn't say is, how sometimes you want to choose whether or not Daniel can see the chat, whether it's one day before all of the chat or let's just bring him in now. So I don't know what that experience is like, but let's keep this one short. It's going to be rolling out nowish and complete late December for everybody.
Everyone.
What does Phil say? Sometimes it's the simple things in our lives that make our lives easier. Not really. Phil, stay on topic. Stay on topic, okay?
No, I think this is actually a really good thing. I hate clicking when I don't need to, so I'm excited about this one to see it in action.
Well, let's keep moving on, because there are a few things to get through. What's this one about Power Automate, Daniel?
Yeah, important information about your Microsoft Power Automate service, MC481284. And this is talking about removing the functionality of submitting a template. So in Power Automate, you create flows, and you can then take those flows and submit them as a template to be part of the gallery, the public template gallery that everyone can access. And if you've been into Power Automate, you've seen all those templates. There are a gazillion of them. Yes, that's an official term or a set of number. There's a lot. Well, they're actually turning that off, and it's going to be turned off starting January 10th. So we have just a little under a month before this happens. Now, what they are doing, they say they're going to be introducing an alternative submission process. However, that submission process is not defined. There is a link saying that future updates to the process can be viewed, and it says here, which is, I thought we weren't doing that anymore. Doing URLs that are, click here or here. Anyway, now there's two problems. One is the URL is badly formatted in the message. And so if you click on it, it actually takes you to admin.microsoft.com/ and then the URL that it's supposed to be.
You know what else it does, Daniel? It doesn't open up a new tab. My goodness.
Yeah. So it's wonderful. But if you go to the actual, what it's supposed to be, the URL, it is the old version of submitting the template. So there's not the new updated way. So this is not a great message for change management, because in change management, you want to understand what the process is that's going away, and then what is it that you should do. We don't have all that in the same step. We know what's going away, but we don't know what's replacing it. We don't know what that process is like. So just know that if this is something that is used in your organization, if users are submitting those, that will be interrupted, and we don't really know what it's replacing or what's being used to replace the functionality. So, that's a kind of a short one, but it is something that I think they're taking away functionality and haven't told us what the replacement is. So it's kind of a bit wonky there. So just bear with them. I hope they will update that information pretty soon, on that webpage, so that we know what it is. That's it. That's for that message. I think that's all I got for that one. But the next one, I think we're going to have a little bit more conversation about. Let's co-organize it, Daryl, so that we can get good dialogue and break this out.
Well, that was kind of... there we go. Haha. Team support for co-organizers to manage MC481829. I'd love this, right? I've run a few meetups, user groups, where I leverage the Breakout group feature. I like to try and get people discussing things through the meeting. And up until now, I'm the only one that can help with that. So imagine a large group class, could be something larger than that, and you're wanting to try and group people based on, I don't know, like deliberate groups to try and make sure that you can encourage conversation and select certain people to lead and all that sort of thing, rather than just the random check the box, distribute people across the way. Up until now, it was only the organizer's ability to do that. So they had to potentially present someone else to present. And what I would try and do is, if someone was presenting, I would go along and try and organize the breakout rooms in the background and then flick the switch. But co-organizers will be able to do this for you. A co-organizer is someone that you can select ahead of the meeting or during the meeting to say, I want to help me out with various different things, how the meeting operates and runs in Teams. And so they'll be able to create rooms, they'll be able to configure the settings, they can assign participants to meetings, add and remove rooms, open and close them, send announcements, rename, delete, and they'll be able to roam between rooms, much like the organizer can. So if you want to go into a room, see how things are going, encourage some conversation, go on to the next room, then you can have some help now as an organizer. This is a really good thing to see. Now, Daniel, have you used breakout rooms much?
I have indeed. And what you were just talking about has been really my experience, is that it's nice to have the ability to have multiple hands, right? I think for this, to be able to set things up and run them so that it's not all on you, right? Having those co-organizers, that has been my experience with breakout rooms, is that you have to be on top of it, and there's work to be done. You can't be doing other things like, leading the meeting, which is,
don't do that.
What I mean? Like, right.
Just make everyone wait.
Right. And so there's been times where it's like, okay, everybody pause, and then we'll wait till I get this done, and then we can get back. I don't like that. So more hands helping out is great. And I'm excited about that part.
I hope that it encourages more breakout rooms to be used in meetings. I know that it takes a bit of forward planning, but if you have a little less in your meeting, just stick to the topics that are super important. Maybe you've got some decisions to make or ideas to get, and just section out, even if it's just 10 minutes in a regular meeting to allow people to connect in a more intimate way. Oh, hang on. Let me find a better way to describe that. Less people in groups.
What kind of
what I'm
meetings
saying.
are you having? What in the world? Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah.
Moving
Okay.
on.
Moving on. No, this is going to be rolling out nowish. So that's early December, complete mid-December for preview customers or targeted release. Standard release mid-January through to end of January, and government clouds will see it early March. Expect to be rolled out late March. Good. Daniel, OneDrive something.
OneDrive something. Yes, that's exactly the title. OneDrive something. No, OneDrive sharing experience sensitivity labels inside the sharing dialog. MC 481831. Now, this message starts off with an apology. So Microsoft is terribly sorry, but basically it's already here, and they forgot to tell you about it. So
at least they've labeled their apology initially.
Nice.
I'm sensitive
like
about
that.
these sorts of things.
Wow. Now you do the transitioning. Okay. Nice. So sensitivity labels are used to, classify information and protect it. And when you go to share that content, you'll then see the sensitivity label that's on that content in the sharing dialog. I find this to be one of those, wait a minute, yeah, that should have actually always been there. Right? So I like seeing this, because when you're sharing content, you need to have it available to the user, kind of in their face. Hey, this has a label on it. So is this a general information? Is this confidential? Is this, segmented? What type of content is this? And should I even be sharing this? Right? How is this going to affect the ability to keep this information if it's private? So I like seeing that. So showing on the screen here, for those on the audio podcast, it's going to be right after the name in the screenshot. It shows that the label is there, so people can see that. I would like it to be a little bit more highlighted, but the
Agreed.
dialogue is a little busy already, so I get it, but I'd kind of like it a little bit more bold,
Different
or something.
color.
Yeah, exactly. That would be nice. So it is already rolled out. It is available now. If you're using labels in your organization, then you'll see it right now in the sharing experience. So
It's a pretty short message too, really.
It is. There's the roadmap information there, but that doesn't give you too much information. The sensitivity label, there is a link there to understand sensitivity labels, and then the help support gives you, really, it's just how to enable it, so. So, yeah. So, Daryl, I think we need to plan for utilizing, Microsoft Viva. Can you give us some new plans for that?
Well, in terms of plans, maybe I need to get out one of those little whiteboards that coaches sit down with and go, right, here's the next play that we're going to play. And so just to explain this, connect this dot to that dot. Bear with me as I try to take through this. New service plans for Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Viva SKUs. As soon as you see the word SKU, I guarantee 80% of people will turn off. Boop, don't care. SKU? You said SKU. Don't care. We're talking about licensing, service plans, but it is something that's going to prepare the way for a certain Viva feature that has been talked about. Viva Engage, the answers feature. If I can quickly recap that in a verbal way, the answers feature is taking what we currently have, the Q&A feature in Viva Engage or Yammer, but trying to make it more of a center, a place to go, ask and answer questions, push those questions to subject matter experts that might be related to a topic. And that's where it kind of connects to another Viva product, Viva Topics. So with that very short explanation, there are going to be some things that need to change ahead of time before it arrives to make sure it's clear. Clear if and how you will use Viva Engage Answers. First of all, if you are using the Viva suite, the premium suite with most of Viva, then you're going to start to see two service plans. Service plans are what you would tick on a user's account or record to say, I want to enable this on their account. You will see Viva Engage Communities and Communications, and you'll see Viva Engage Knowledge Services. So this will be for adding answers. If you are not using the Viva Premium license, but you have suggested, or hell, I see the value in using topics, Viva Topics, then you'll be able to use the Viva Answers with Engage because it uses, but it'll look a little different when you're enabling it on people's accounts. Firstly, they'll be in license for Viva Topics, then you may see the Viva Engage Knowledge Service Plan. Now, those are the two options so far. The third one is if you're just a regular 0365 customer, then you will just see Viva Engage Core, which is the basic or free experience, which won't come with answers. Right. I want an answer here, Daniel. Why have we got two different types of names? Why have we got two different types of names?
Yeah, okay. So I said I have an answer. The answer is I don't know. So let's go from the bottom out here with the if you just have a Microsoft 365 license and you're using Yammer right now, right? It's part of that license. You're going to see a Viva Engage Core plan show up, meaning where I'm assuming where you see all the services, including like you're talking about when you can you could check the box and say yes or no, where it's lists Yammer now, Yammer Enterprise. That is it going to replace that with Viva Engage Core, or is it going to be additional? I do not know. So that part I'm not sure. When you said if you're using Viva Topics, right? So that means you're licensed for Viva Topics as a user. Then now you're going to see the Viva Engage knowledge item there to be checked. Will be checked, right? To give you that knowledge experience in Viva Engage, which is answers. So does that mean then that the only additional license you need is Viva Topics? And so
now
works?
I'm looking at it. No, it's almost like, because you see that last bit here, for answers in Viva Premium Experience. So it still is answers in Viva Premium. It's just that have topics in any kind of form or flavor, it will now be called Viva Engage Knowledge as a service plan. I think just looking at who actually gets answers, I think it's the subscribers to Viva Suite. But this is the confusion here. Someone clarify it for us.
Yeah, because and I will say, I was told this past week, here's what you need for answers, and it's not exactly what's being said here. So I think there's definitely some. It's not as clear as I think they're trying to make it here. Is the feedback that I would give, is that it's not. I think they tried to make it really clear, but unfortunately, I don't think it did. So
I think they need a topics page to sort this out. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice. There's a link there to the blog post that was the September announcement on, the new experiences and such, but it doesn't give the detail that we need, which is, if I want to use answers, what licenses do I need? And that's not being fully communicated here. I think it's just a little confusing. Do we need, like what you were just saying, we need topics and the, Viva Suite, then I don't know. See, I say that out loud and that confuses me even more. So
I think they were still working out their licensing, messaging, blog post, Anyway, it's enough of that. I'm sorry that we hurt your head. It looks like we've lost some people watching live. No, actually, we've gained. Wow,
Yeah, no.
You want topics? We can totally do that. We won't do that ourselves. So
No,
invite
we
someone
will
else
not.
who knows what they're talking about.
No, I think we need to switch to permanently deleting users. That's what we need to do.
Wow, that's
Don't
a bit heavy. Yeah, okay. I'll go find it because it looks like I didn't favorite it. I was not happy about permanent deletion.
Okay.
But you please introduce.
Yeah, this is announcing public preview of permanent deletion of users in Power Platform, MC 482511. So, yeah, there's a lot of P's.
Say it again. No, I want you to hear it. Say it again.
I'm not going to do it. Nope. So this is where you have a user that leaves, right? And they're not active in your tenant anymore, but because of the way the Power Platform is set up, those users could still be in environments. And so those familiar with Power Platform, you have environments where you create your apps and such, and so that and your flows, and so that's the kind of a scope of a container of the information that you have, and those users will still be there, will still show up as artifacts as part of the creation experience. So to kind of clean that up, maybe comply with some regulatory compliance, they're allowing you now to be able to go and remove those users from those containers, from those environments. So this is rolling out, and it'll be by the end of December, so soonish. Will be available globally, and you'll have to be able to to use this. You'll be able to turn it on the preview, and be able to go through the settings, and say delete disabled users. And when you do that, if the user is disabled, it will remove it from that environment. there will be there's a nice link there at the bottom, get you to the post of delete users from environment on the Microsoft Learn site. So definitely check that out, and shows much more detail on how this works. But I like to see the cleanup of users here, and I like to see how they're trying to keep in sync, because it wasn't in sync before, and it kind of muddies the water, of wait, this user's still here? No, they don't have access. It's just an artifact that's still there. So yes, permanent delete users, Daryl. I know you're all about that.
No, look, we've got to make sure that people leave properly. Yeah.
With a boot on their bottom and kick them out the door, or
saying don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't let the
right
platform permanent deletion hit you on the
yeah.
Oh.
Well, Daryl, I'm
headline time.
Yeah, I know. I want to hear about the headline. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Meeting toolbar. Teams meeting toolbar. There it is. Ready? Have you got your cursor ready to race on up and give me or if you've got questions to raise your hand quickly? That's what we're improving. Meeting toolbar usability improvements. MC 482567. It is all about making sure that those buttons are easier to reach. Let's have a look at one of them here. So those on the... Oh, not that one. That's the boring one. Sorry, people. This one here. We know, like, I'm probably the slowest off the trigger to join people as they're applauding someone in a team, or laugh, or hearts, or something. And you see people doing it, and then, oh, okay, you have to click 2 or 3 places to try and find the particular reaction that they want. Kind of tucked away and covered. Well, the purpose of this improvement is to make the raise hand and the react button right there on the toolbar, easy to find, click, choose, we're done. I think this is an improvement, but as you pointed out, Daniel, when we were discussing this yesterday, it does make other thing harder to get to. And what is that?
Yeah, it's the device settings. So if you're going in, and you could see that there, if you're going in to, change your audio settings, maybe you want to switch from your headset to your speakers or vice versa, then you're going to have another click to get there in that menu. I understand, some of this rearranging. I get it, but it's not fun to do that. I'll tell you from experience, it's just not fun to go, oh wait, I got to click again, and so it doesn't make that process any easier. So my suggestion there is, at the beginning of the meeting, before you join, make sure your settings are right the way you want them.
I liked your other suggestion yesterday, Daniel. What was your feature request?
Well, and I think this is not it's not unique to me, but in Teams, if you have a headset connected, that's a profile, right? You could say this headset, and it changes your audio, your speakers to the headset, as well as your microphone to the headset microphone. But if you want to use your computer, there is no profile setting for that. You have to individually change those. I would love to have a profile setting. I want to use my headset, or I want to use my wireless earbuds, or I want to use my computer. I want a profile setting. That was my feature request.
Well, I also like the ad, which we see in other products, where right up beside the mic and speakers, there's a drop down that lets you choose
Indeed.
it. Yeah. Again, directly from the toolbar, not through the chicanes of a Formula One racetrack to try and find a meeting option.
I will say, I love this directly on the toolbar, having the hand raised. It's so much easier, and having it separate than the reactions has always, that's a good thing as well. It's funny though when people try to, applaud or whatever, and they click the raise hand, and it's like, wait, that's not what I meant to do. But anyway, so I do like separating this out and having it directly there. I think that is that would be amazing, or that will be amazing for users to use that. So I'm excited.
Daniel, our last message is another Viva one. Tell us about it.
Indeed. So this is Viva Connections Toolbox displaying store apps. Oh, MC482569. And if you've used Viva Dashboard at all, you have experienced being able to add those adaptive cards. And now we're going to be able to add store apps that give us those adaptive cards as well. This is, there's going to be a section down below, and Daryl's showing a screenshot to those on the video podcast, but it's basically going to have a suggested cards down below, and you're going to be able to add those to your environment if you have permissions, right? So you're going to have to be if you're like a site owner, you can request it. It works just like a store app here. And if you are a catalog admin, an app catalog admin, then you're going to be able to, approve those requests to put them there. Now, I have some questions, which is how do you become a suggested app? Meaning, I'm going to put an app in the App Store. How does my app become a suggested app? We don't have that information in here. Is it going to change? Is it going to rotate, for users? Is it going to, who knows? We have no idea how that functionality works. But frankly, whoever, if it doesn't rotate, whoever is put in their suggested cards, they're going to get a lot of, I think, traction and usage of their app. Because it's going to be the ones that are available. There's going to be add more cards link, but who gets in that, that section?
Well, this episode has been sponsored by Limeade.
Yeah, because it's like there's so many of them in the screenshots. Congratulations for your exposure of your apps. Good job. So rolling this out in January. And completed by the end of January of 2023. So just be looking for that coming. I think this is one of those that you're going to have to prepare for this, because how does this interact with if you've disabled the store? I don't know. How is this going to interact if you haven't really properly thought through the app catalog admins? Who's going to get notifications? Do those admins still work at your company, so that when people are requesting these, are they going to get those notifications? Anyway, there's some planning that needs to be done here. Unfortunately, we don't have the answers to some of those questions of, how does it get, are they rotating here? What is it? What does that experience look like? How do you get added as a company that produces these? How do you get added there so that it is part of those suggested? Lots of things here, but definitely need to start thinking and talking about this and being prepared for this change, because in just a couple of weeks we're going to have it. So,
and I know that we both work for companies that have made cards that sort of fit there too. So we're interested in that.
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
CreoSpark, we've created dozens of these things, and would love to get them in the hands of people to experience. And I'm not talking about like selling them. I'm just saying, hey, we've made some really cool stuff, and would love to give them, to the community. How do we do that? How do we get into that? I have no idea.
That's what the store is for, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a graph behind it. Like, oh, you are discussing this, or you create this kind of content, or who knows? But we'd like to know more. We would.
Yep.
That is the show. We thank you all for joining us today. Lively chat. Good to see you, Hilda, Andy, Phil, and all others who sat there silently and laughed at our jokes. We thank you for that silent laughter.
Yeah. Silent laughter. I love that. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening. Please make sure you go ahead and give us that thumbs up on the podcast as well. Share out the URL to this and say, hey, I watched this show. Please watch it too. We'd love to see those. Tag us at 365MCS, and we'll amplify your messages as well. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.